Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I am Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada. Man taken to hospital after stabbing on TTC streetcar in downtown Toronto. Be informed and stay safe, says City of Mississauga after rabies found in 2 bats in Peel region. Ontario education workers, NDP call on government to stop violence in schools. Woman found with gunshot wounds inside vehicle in Mississauga suffers critical injuries. Operators of Review Cinema reach new 5-year deal with owners. TTC phasing out no-tap station entrances as it cracks down on fare evasion. Arrests made in Project Nightcrawler investigation after more than 24 break-ins in Toronto, Durham. These were the headlines. Now let's jump right into the details. A man has been seriously injured in a stabbing on a TTC streetcar in downtown Toronto. Toronto police say they were called to the area of St. Patrick Street and Dundas Street west of University Avenue just after 3 p.m. for a stabbing. 2 people were involved in an altercation on a streetcar which resulted in one man being stabbed, police say. Toronto paramedics told Awaz News the victim was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Meanwhile, police say the suspect, described as male with a slim build and wearing all black clothing, fled westbound on Dundas Street West. The City of Mississauga is urging residents to be informed and stay safe after rabies was recently detected in 2 bats in the region. These latest occurrences in Peel are the 9th and 10th known positive cases over the last 5 years, the municipality noted. No humans or pets have been infected. However, the City of Mississauga is advising people to be cautious as the virus can pose a serious health risk. Rabies is a deadly illness that affects the central nervous system of warm-blooded animals, including humans, and is transmitted through a bite, lick, or scratch from an infected animal. Typically, most cases are seen in bats, foxes, raccoons, and skunks, but dogs and cats are also at risk of contracting the virus. Rabies is almost always fatal for animals and humans if untreated. A post-exposure vaccine is available for those who come into contact with an infected animal. Rabies symptoms explained. Some of the initial human symptoms of rabies include anxiety, cough, fever, headaches, irritability, sore throat, and tiredness. Someone who has been exposed to rabies without treatment may also experience pain, tingling, numbness, or itching around the wound, the municipality noted. Symptoms of rabies can take between 3 to 8 weeks to appear after exposure. However, they can progress quickly and the virus can be fatal within weeks of symptoms developing. The more advanced symptoms of rabies include confusion, excitement, hallucinations, inability to drink water, increased saliva production, partial paralysis, and trouble sleeping and swallowing. Anyone who believes that they may have been exposed to rabies should immediately wash the wound with soap and water and apply antiseptic and seek medical attention from a healthcare provider or a local hospital, as rabies vaccine may need to be administered. People are also asked to report any incidents to Peel Public Health. Animals infected with rabies may show unusual aggression or friendliness, have trouble swallowing or excessive drooling, and may stumble or experience paralysis. Nocturnal animals like raccoons and bats may also be active during the day, the municipality explained. The incubation period for rabies in dogs and cats is usually 10 days. Anyone concerned about an animal, including a pet possibly having rabies, is being urged to contact a professional for proper diagnosis. Anyone who sees an animal displaying these types of symptoms and suspects that they may have rabies is asked to contact Mississauga Animal Services at 905-896-5858. Ontario education workers and the opposition NDP are calling on the Ford government to address growing violence in the Ontario schools. A survey done for the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario (ETFO) last year found 77% of union members had either experienced or witnessed violence. Education assistant Monica Mello Monse says the number of incidents have climbed over the last 8 years and the problems have deepened since the COVID-19 pandemic. I have been kicked, punched, spit on, pushed into objects, had objects such as pieces of furniture thrown at me, bit, and in recent years, I have even been lifted off the ground by my neck, Mello Mansi told reporters at Queen's Park Tuesday. She says the damage to herself and her colleagues is physical, mental, and sometimes life-altering, taking surgery to repair. Once part of a team of 9, Mello Mansi says budget cuts have reduced that number to just 2. New Democrats are urging the government to set up what they have dubbed an emergency safe school plan that includes hiring more staff, including mental health workers, educational assistants, and child and youth workers, funding for training, a permanent working group on education sector violence, a province-wide reporting system for incidents of violence, and education sector regulation in the Occupational Health and Safety Acts. NDP education critic Chandra Pasma says her party will move a motion asking the government to adopt those changes when the legislature reconvenes next month. She explains that the reduction in staff has meant educators aren't getting the one-on-one time with students they used to. Schools are also seeing spillover from challenges away from school grounds. On Monday, a teenage boy was grazed in the head by a bullet in the parking lot of a Scarborough high school. Pasma says a lack of access to youth programming, recreation programs, employment and autism therapies are part of the problem. In a statement to Awaz News, a spokesperson for the Ministry of Education said students and staff members deserve to be safe and learn in positive school environments. A 33-year-old woman is fighting for her life in hospital after she was found with gunshot wounds inside a vehicle in Mississauga early Tuesday morning, Peel Regional Police say. Officers were called to the area of Mississauga Road and the Queen Elizabeth Way, QEW, shortly before 4 a.m. for a reported shooting. They arrived on scene to find a woman inside a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds, and she was transported to hospital in critical condition. The suspects fled prior to the arrival of officers and are still outstanding, police said. Speaking at news conference on Tuesday afternoon, Constable Mandeep Kapra told reporters that the victims was with the 2 other females at the time of the incident. The exact location of the shooting is not known, but police believe it occurred somewhere along Mississauga Road near Dolton Drive. The vehicle the victim was traveling in continued to some distance before coming to a stop near the QEW. A construction worker who was working in the area early Tuesday morning said he witnessed a woman exit the passenger side of vehicle and come running for help. The woman, he said, told an off-duty officer on scene that another person inside the vehicle had sustained a gunshot wound to the head. Capra could not confirm if the woman sustained a gunshot wound to the head but said multiple shots were fired. He noted that of the 3 females inside the vehicle, only the 33 who police believe was the driver was shot. It is not clear where the victim had been prior to the incident, but Capra said police believe the 3 females had been in the area prior to the shooting. The perpetrators fled the area in the vehicle, police said, but investigators have not yet provided a description of the vehicle or the suspects. The victim remains in hospital where Capra said she is fighting for her life. I can say this is an isolated incident and we don't believe there is a public safety threat at this time, he said. The safety and well-being of our community, it always a priority for us, and we have dedicated all the resources that are at our disposal right now to assist with this investigation. The group, which runs the historical review cinema in Roncesvalles village will be sticking around to manage the theatre after reaching a new agreement with the owners. Review Film Society chair Grant Oyston told Awaz News in an email Tuesday that his group has now signed a new 5-year lease agreement with the owners Danny and Letty Mullen. The future of the theatre was left in a limbo back in June after it emerged that the Mullins planned to end the Review Film Society's lease on the theatre, citing a failure to keep up with promises around key maintenance and improvements to the building. The group sought and won a court injunction allowing them to continue to operate until the matter could be heard in court. The Mullins bought the beloved local theatre in 2007 in order to save it from the closure, and it has been operated ever since by Review Film Society, the non-profit community group established at the same time. The uncertainty around the future of the theatre earlier this year prompted an outpouring of the support for its continued operation, including a petition for action by Oscar-winning filmmaker Guillermo del Toro. A press release announcing the new deal Tuesday clarified that both the Mullins and the Society share a desire to see the cinema operated as an independent movie theatre and the community landmark. In recent weeks, supporters across Toronto and beyond have shown their passion for the iconic cinema, a testament to the community's dedication and the exceptional environment that the Review Film Society and the Mullins have cultivated. The statement said the Mullins requested that a new lease agreement include a significant contribution to St. Joseph's Health Centre, a request answered with a donation of $62,000 worth of advertising space for the St. Joseph's Health Centre Foundation over the length of the new 5-year lease. The lease also provides for the holding of an annual fundraising event at the theatre in support of the hospital. According to the group, the Review Cinema is the oldest operating movie theatre in Canada. TTC riders who use station gates, which don't require Presto Tap, will start to see a change this week as the transit agency begins phasing out the option in order to double down on fare evasion. No-tap fare gates, usually next to the collector booth, open without a Presto Tap for those with young children, those using a paper transfer or cash, or anyone else who might not need or be able to tap, but they are to make it easier for the fare dodgers to get by. The change is starting online for the Shepherd line to sort out any potential problems, and the new policy will eventually be rolled out across the system. Kids 12 years of age and younger, as well as those paying by cash, TTC ticket, token, paper transfer, support person assistance card, or other non-Presto Pass will need to have their fare validated by staff, who will then manually open the fare gate. The move comes as the TTC tries to crack down on fare evasion, which it says costs around $140 million in lost revenue last year. Some $20 million of that was lost at no-tap gates, the TTC told Awaz News in an email. No additional staff are being added to the stations to facilitate the change, the TTC told Awaz News. The change will be rolled out across TTC stations on all lines over the next 2 years. Four people are in custody in connection with a string of nighttime break-and-enters that occurred at retail shops in both Toronto and Durham region over a 9-month time period, Toronto police say. According to investigators, between November 26, 2023 and August 23, 2024, officers with the Toronto Police State Service and the Durham Regional Police Service responded to 27 calls for nighttime break-and-enters at retail establishments. In Toronto, the incidents were reported throughout 41, 42, and 43 divisions, which are located in Scarborough. According to police, a group of masked suspects targeted and forced their way into a number of cannabis, electronics, and cellular phone stores. Police allege that during at least one break-in, the suspects recklessly discharged a firearm while fleeing the scene. More than $50,000 worth of cannabis-related products, cellular phones and accessories, as well as electronics and computers. In each incident, the suspects fled in an awaiting vehicle. Following an extensive investigation, police said 4 suspects were identified. They were subsequently arrested and charged by Toronto police. The charges they face include breaking and entering, disguise with intent, and possession of burglary tools. Some of the suspects are also facing weapons-related charges.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.